Okay, hi guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Today we've got Mary with us, who's going to be telling us all about how to work smarter with Facebook ads. As usual, the webinar will be recorded so that you can all share, and of course we'll have a Q&A after the presentation as well. So if you have any questions between now and then, just pop them into the chat box and we'll get back to you. So it looks like we're right on time now, so I'll hand it over to you, Mary.
Thanks, great. Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a wonderful Tuesday. It is here in Baltimore. I think it's Wednesday where Kirsten is. So wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a great day. It's actually hot and humid here in Baltimore, which is pretty horrible for October already, but we're looking forward to some fall weather that I think is going to hit us next week. So just to tell you a little bit about me, I've been doing social media for clients for about almost 4 years now and have been doing marketing probably my whole life in one way or the other. But I've just fallen in love with doing Facebook advertising and very recently Facebook Messenger chatbots. So we're going to talk all about those. If anybody has their audio on, if you could mute yourself just so that the recording works well. So I think we're ready to go, and let's get started, okay? I'm going to hide myself here so you can see the full screen. All right, so Messenger chatbots and Facebook advertising. So I don't know if you've been doing any Facebook advertising, but you may have found that it's a little bit more difficult than you thought, or you just weren't sure you were doing it right. So we just kind of want to go over it tonight, because there are 8 things that you want to make sure you have in place to get the most success from your Facebook advertising. So first we're going to talk about, like I said, the 8 steps to success with Facebook advertising. So the first step, most importantly, is to pixel your website. Now, a pixel is a small piece of code that Facebook gives us. It's free. It looks a little bit like this, so don't be intimidated by that. It takes maybe all of 1 to 2 minutes to actually install it on your website, and you install it on every single page, or you have your website admin or your IT person do it for you. It's really very easy, and you just install it so that what happens when someone comes to your website to see what's all about you, you get to capture them into a special audience, which you can then use to retarget ads. So kind of think of it in the way that if you shop on Amazon and you look at a pair of boots, but you don't buy them, and then all of a sudden those boots follow you all over the web. So that's Amazon retargeting you based on this pixel. So again, that's a really important thing. Make sure that your pixel is installed and it's installed correctly. The second thing when you're doing your advertising is to really know what your goals are. Why are you running ads? Are you just trying to get some branding and awareness for your business? Do you actually want to increase sales or maybe drive traffic to an event? Or maybe you're just creating retargeting audience or doing lead generation. So it's important to really understand what your goals are before you start that whole Facebook advertising campaign, because it's really going to base a lot of things that you're going to be doing once you get in there creating your campaigns and your ad sets and your ads. And I know you've all heard this before, and some people always think, oh, well, everybody's my ideal audience. But everybody isn't indeed your ideal audience, because if you're trying to talk to everybody, you're really talking to no one. It's really important to know who your ideal customer is, so that when you set up some of these audiences in Facebook, you kind of know what their interests are and where they hang out online, and maybe what magazines they read, so that you can target them through that. Facebook, as you know, has gone through some tough times this year, so they're getting a little bit more niche down in the advertising and the information that they're sharing. So knowing who your ideal customer is really important, so that you can actually find them online and really dig down into that. Know kind of the demographics, are they men or women, and what is their age group, and what is their, you can actually target income, although I'm not sure income targeting really kind of works, but obviously if you're targeting someone that are buying luxury travel, you might target anybody who likes Travel and Leisure magazine or Condé Nast or something like that, compared to somebody who's just trying to go on maybe a cruise. And so you're targeting a whole different interest group there. So that's why it's really important to know who your ideal customer is. And then you want to create your sales funnel. Now, a sales funnel is just how you get your customer from point A to point B. So obviously, we want to first attract customers. So this is where we're starting here. And you're attracting them by using video ads or by using content so that you can kind of see who it is that's interested in what it is that you've got to say. And you've got to kind of share some great content first before you go right to selling. You can't go right to selling, especially with a cold audience, because it's not just going to happen. So you really have to attract that audience, capture those leads, whether they're lead generation or people who have watched your videos. And video, I will tell you, is so important. If you are not using video as your content, then you're really missing the boat, because any kind of videos, whether they're live videos or uploaded videos or even videos created from slides, really will attract your most audience, your best audience. So you want to attract that audience, you want to capture the leads, and then you want to keep nurturing them. You want to keep giving them great content and great information so that they learn to know, love, and trust you. Then at some point you can start to convert them to buyers, whether you're offering a special deal or you're offering, a trip or whatever it is that you're selling. Somewhere along that sales funnel, you can convert them to cash. And then you just keep continuing to deliver and delight them. Hopefully they become friends for life, and then they share the love they have for you as a brand with their friends and family, and it starts all over again. But make sure that your sales funnel is really created and you know what it is, whether it's getting that lead capture and then you're nurturing them with an email or something like that. So kind of stand down here in the end result and work your way backward through that sales funnel to see what it is that you have to use to attract them and get them into the funnel. Now, when you're doing Facebook ads, you really want to understand whether you're talking to cold audiences, warm audiences, or hot audiences. Now, cold audiences obviously are people who don't know anything about you. They probably never heard of you. Warm audiences are people who might be your email list, or people that like your page, or people that have visited your website. And of course, your hot audiences are people that are commenting and engaging with you on Facebook or other platforms, or maybe who have already bought from you. And it's really important because you're going to talk to that cold audience very differently than you're going to talk to the hot audience. It's kind of like, think of it as your cold audience is you're on that first date with someone, and your hot audience is you're already married. So you're going to talk differently to that person on the first date than you are when you've been married for 3 years. So here's the 6 audiences you really need to have, and these will serve you well in targeting your ads. So the first one is a saved audience of whether it's interests, demographics, or locations. Now this is an audience I created for a wedding site that was local, obviously, and so we've targeted a local audience in Baltimore, Maryland, with within a 45-minute range of Baltimore. Age range of 21 to 40, obviously female, because they're usually the ones that are, that are planning those weddings. And then we got down into the interest audience. So we've targeted anyone who likes The Knot or Wedding Wire or DestinationWeddings.com. Obviously, you want to target people in relationship status, so engaged. And then life events, whether they're newly engaged in the past year, the past 6 months, or the past 3 months. So if you're looking for people who like to travel, then obviously you're going to target all the travel magazines and the travel websites, for instance. And maybe you want to target that life event, someone who's got a big anniversary coming up, and maybe they want to do, a great trip for their anniversary. Or maybe your target audience are retired folks. So you really kind of want to go in and target those people. So this is where you create what's called a saved audience of interest and demographics and locations. Your next audience, and this is why your email list is so important. So you upload your email list and just the names. Nobody knows you're doing this, so your email subscribers are not looking at that going, oh my God, what are they doing with my list? But you upload your list and Facebook matches them. So Facebook will go out and find all the people that are on your email list that have a Facebook page or a Facebook profile. And they do that obviously because we're all on Facebook with our email names. Now, usually you can get about a 60 to 70% email match for this Facebook custom audience. But this is a really important audience, and you'll see why in just a few minutes. And that's why it's also important to keep building that email list. The second one is to retarget audiences of visitors to your website. And that's what we were talking about just a few minutes ago, where you put that pixel on your website and you can capture those people who have visited your website and even visited specific pages of your website. So if you've got a page that relates to a specific trip, you can retarget the audience of people who are looking at that particular trip and retarget that with an ad for that trip. Because obviously, booking a trip is going to take a little bit longer. It's not like you're buying a pair of shoes from Amazon. It doesn't take a 5-minute visit on the website. It may take them a couple of days. So you want to kind of keep retargeting that audience maybe for up to 7 days so that you can capture them. The next one is to retarget video views audience. And this is why video is so very important. Video gets the most engagement and the most views of anything that you can do online. Again, whether you're doing Facebook Lives or you've uploaded a video of a particular destination that people might be interested in, or you've just created a slideshow or a video out of slides, retargeting video views is going to be your warmest audience. So use as much video as you possibly can. And then you want to retarget anybody that has engaged with your Facebook page. So whether made a comment or liked your page or shared it. So that's why it's very important to always have your content be just as engaging and just as wonderful as you can possibly make it, so that people will comment, they'll share it, they'll look at it, they'll like it. And then the magic of all of these audiences is the lookalike audience. So you can go in and you can create a lookalike audience of every single other audience that you've got. And the magic of this is that this is a whole new audience of your ideal customers who don't know anything about you yet, but that you have the opportunity now to sell. So if you created a lookalike audience of your email list, for instance, you've got people who look just like your email list. They have the same likes, and they have the same demographics, and they have the same interests. So this is a whole new audience now that you can advertise to. But remember, they're a cold audience, so you have to talk to them slightly differently than you're going to talk to your email list audience. But that's the magic of all these audiences, to create that lookalike, to introduce yourself to as many new customers as you can. So let's talk about what the elements of a good ad look like. And you've all seen ads in your feed, and you know which ones attract you and which ones don't attract you. And I would suggest that you start a swipe file. So every time you see an ad that you really like and that really piques your interest, take a screenshot of it and put it into your swipe file, so that when you're going to do your own ads, you can look back and you can kind of see what attracted you and what did you like about it and how did they entice you and what was the visual and what was the copy points. So here's what the elements of a good ad are, and this is a great ad from United. So up here at the top, obviously, is your who you are. This is your text copy, and you want to start with a question that really gets kind of an implied yes. You want them to get saying yes right away, or a positive answer. So obviously, who isn't looking for bonus miles? Build rapport. They could have put a little bit more copy in here to really talk about how wonderful United is and all of those great points. But then this is what you're giving them. Get a bonus of up to 50%, 75%, 80%, or 100% more miles. And obviously, who doesn't want to do that? Give them a clear call to action. learn more, and you're going to connect that to either your landing page or your website or wherever, so that, again, if they click on that, they've gone to your landing page or your website, and you've now recaptured them in that audience of website visitors. A great image is always important. And again, if you can do a video in here, all the better. Make sure that your offer name and your benefit is very obvious right here. Reveal your special bonus on miles. That's very enticing, because who doesn't want to have a reveal on what they're doing? Strong benefit driven, obviously, get even more miles to use for all of your spring and summer travel plans. And then remind them where to go. So this is the website. So those are the elements of a really strong ad. Now, in case you're quickly trying to take notes on this, I am going to give you a way to get all these slides at the end, so you can kind of relax and just listen if you like. The last and final thing on creating Facebook ads is to have patience. It is not an overnight success. You can't put an ad up on Facebook and have it immediately start pulling in customers. You really have to nurture it. You have to find that ideal audience. So sometimes it takes tweaking your audience insights and finding out what reacts with your customers. You have to do a lot of testing. So when you do an ad, you're going to want to A/B test it and change maybe the image on the 2 ads, or change the copy on the 2 or 3 ads even, so that you can see what's engaging with your customers the best. So you have to have patience. Sometimes it may take 2 or 3 months to really niche down and find that perfect audience and that perfect mix of copy and images and calls to action that really make a difference. So just have a little bit of patience and keep trying. All right, next up, what in the world is a Facebook Messenger chatbot? These are the hottest new kids on the block, and they are really kind of taking over Facebook as far as engaging with customers and really making a huge difference. It's a way to engage with your customers that answers questions, it provides automated responses, and it's programmed with very simple AI. They're so easy to do. This is a chatbot that I created for one of my clients, which is Sail Baltimore. And they're a nonprofit that brings a lot of the tall ships and the big ships into Baltimore Harbor for people to tour. We just had a great event this past week with Fleet Week, where we had 13 ships in and the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds, and it was an incredible event. And we did a lot of engagement with our chatbot. And you'll see in a minute just how we kind of create it and how it is. Chatbots allow you to have a conversation that's interactive, and it's immediate and responsive. It's educational, it's entertaining, it drives traffic, and you can actually sell your products and services right on the chatbot. So unlike email, where you're just talking to them, the chatbot allows them to talk back to you. And you're kind of giving them programmed responses so that you know kind of which way to take them in the conversation. So this was the chatbot that I created for Sail Baltimore. And we started it on, I believe, October 13th or 14th. And you can see here that it's grown to 167 subscribers through October 1st. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never been able to grow an email list that fast. And I did this through Facebook advertising and emails that we sent to them. And I'll show you what some of these growth tools are and how you can use this. The magic of chatbots is that once you have your subscribers, you can send broadcasts to them. And this is just to show you a little bit about what kind of open rates we have and what kind of engagement rates. So these are the different broadcasts that I've sent to our Sail Baltimore chatbots here, starting September 6th and all the way up to October 6th, when we were right in the middle of Fleet Week. As you can see, this is how many chatbot messages were sent. And this is how many people opened and read them. 84% of the 167 subscribers read and opened the chatbot, and 65% people, which is close to 40%, actually clicked on the link I included in there. Now, again, I don't know about you, but I never get those kind of open rates in email. So you can see these chatbots are really proving to be unbelievable. Here in the very first chatbot that I sent out when we had just 54 subscribers, 100% of the people opened it and 25% of the people clicked through on the link. Chatbots are proving to be unbelievable in open rates and engagement rates. And you'll see for yourself that it's just phenomenal. Now, that doesn't mean you want to throw your email out the window. So you're going to use all of your digital tools kind of in combination with each other. Now, this is what building a chatbot kind of looks like. And I know you can't read it, but this was actually the chatbot that I used to engage people with Sale Baltimore. I think it's a little like a Rube Goldberg machine, if you're old enough to remember who Rube Goldberg is. So one thing kind of leads to another. So this is the opening chatbot, and you can't see it, but I've asked them a question about did they like Sale or Fleet Week. If they answered yes, which is right here, it took them to this message. If they answered no, it took them to this message. And I got to deliver a whole different line of messages to each one of those customers, and then actually brought them back all together at the end to deliver the final message to them. You can make your chatbots as complicated or unique and different modules as you possibly want. You can deliver videos in them. You can deliver pictures. They're really spectacular. And a little bit later in here, you're going to actually get to see what a chatbot looks like on your own phone, because you're going to get one. But this is what it looks like. And I love the simplicity. Now, I use a program called ManyChat, M-A-N-Y-C-H-A-T. It's very, very simple to use. It's free, but there is a paid version, which gives you a little bit more bells and whistles and takes off your takes off the ManyChat branding, and it's only $10 a month. So you can't afford not to do this. So here's the growth tools and the ways that you can build your chatbot subscribers. So first off, you all know on your Facebook cover photos, you have this wonderful little send message. How many of you have ever clicked send message and it opens up a chat box, or it opens up a screen, and you might ask a question, and then you wait, and you wait, and you wait, and you wait, because nobody's obviously manning that message thing, and they don't have this automated sequence of questions set up for them. And as we all know, we're a very impatient lot. So if we have to wait too long for an answer, we go on to the next business. So now I've set up an automated message for my Facebook page here, so that when someone clicks send message, it automatically opens this conversation with them. It welcomes them. You get to call them by their first name, and everybody loves to hear their first name. It tells them a little bit about me and what Be More Social is. And then I get to go and ask them what they're most interested in hearing about, whether it's Facebook management, Facebook advertising, or Instagram. Whenever they click on one of these, it takes them to a whole different line of questioning and information. And I get to actually tag them on the back side of this, so that I know if I have information about Facebook advertising, who's interested in that, and I can send it directly to them, or even on Instagram. So you want to absolutely, first thing is to get your Facebook send message chatbot set up. The next is to have a web page pop-up, slide in, or a takeover. Now, whether you like pop-ups or not, they work. They absolutely work. And this is one of the growth tools that ManyChat gives you, that when you open my website, this slides in from the side after you've been on the site for about, I think, 15 or 20 seconds. It asks you if you're having trouble with Facebook ads and would you like some information. And they click on this send a message messenger, and they immediately get in their Facebook Messenger a whole chat from me about Facebook advertising, and it asks them questions, and they can interact with me and give me the answers that are going to get me the best information that I can get to serve them. So your web page pop up or slide in, and you can slide it in from the bottom or the top. You can have a banner, or you can just take over the whole page. Now, the Facebook comment growth tool is probably the one that I use the most. Now, excuse me, I created this post for Sale Baltimore in advance of Fleet Week. Excuse me, let me take a drink. So this is a picture of a beautiful ship that was coming in. And here's the copy that I wrote in the post. And I said, comment below with Fleet Week, and then watch for all the news in Facebook Messenger. Now, I started this as a regular organic post in the Facebook page, but then I actually used it as a Facebook ad. And as you can see, we reached 8,331 people. We got 818 engagements, both organically and paid. We had 483 clicks. Lots of comments, lots of shares. So we spent a total of $329 to reach that 8,331 people. And we got 55 subscribers on our chatbot at a cost of $6.10 per lead. Now, we're not selling anything at Sale Baltimore. We're just getting people to visit our ships and to participate in our events. But if you're a travel agent and you're selling things and you can get a lead into your subscriber list for $6.10 to be able to then nurture them to a sale that could be thousands of dollars, I'd say that was pretty much worth it. So the Facebook comment growth tool is a huge, huge, great tool in the chatbot. Then there's a message ref URL, and that's just reference URL for email, so that you can actually put a link into an email that you're sending out. This is an email that we sent out to all of the Sale Baltimore subscribers on our email list that said, hey, join us over on Facebook Messenger, and you'll get all the information you want delivered right to your phone every single time there's a ship in town or we're having an event. So behind this link right here is a link for them to actually subscribe to the chatbot, and it was really, really successful. And I actually include this in every single email we send out because you never know, maybe they didn't sign up the last time. This is one of my favorites also. This is called a Facebook Messenger code, and it probably looks a lot like the I can't remember the name of it now, the other codes that we used to have. But this works really well. And what I love about it is you can put it on your business cards. You can put it on flyers. If you're up on stage giving a talk, you can put it on a flyer that they have on their seats or any kind of signage that you have. Or you can use it on webinars like this. And in a minute, you're actually going to get to use one of these that will give you all the slides that we're talking about tonight. If you have a brick and mortar office where people come in, you can use it in signage in your office. Or if you have other businesses that you're maybe collaborating with, you can put it on signs in their stores. So here are some samples of some great bots that are for travels. And I tried to search to get things that were really, really good. And you're going to want to actually go to these pages and look at these chatbots and see how they're using them, because they are spectacular. So the first one on the Facebook page for Visit Buffalo Niagara. If you click on send message, you'll get into their chatbot and just start engaging with it and answering their questions, and you'll see what they do. It's just spectacular. The other thing that Buffalo Niagara does, which you can't see on this slide, is that they actually have a video as their Facebook cover. And you might not know that you can actually do video. Their video is just a series of slides, but it's really spectacular, and it stops you in your tracks when you go to their Facebook page. So be sure to go visit Buffalo Niagara and interact with their chatbot. Now here's another one. I don't know if you know of Hipmunk, but Hipmunk is a travel site that really helps you kind of decide where to go. So this is how you get started with Hipmunk, and I did it again on their Facebook page. And they responded back with, hey, are you traveling soon? I can help you dig through some ideas. First, tell me where you're flying from. And I told them Baltimore. And then I got back this next message. Looks like you're planning to get away from Baltimore, Maryland. I'll hit you back with some great recommendations. This may take a minute, so here's a tip while you wait. And then they did a series of slides that showed different destinations that I might be going to, and telling me about different flights to San Diego. They went on in their chatbot to really help me kind of decide where I wanted to go and kind of lead me through, well, what kind of a trip was I looking for? What kind of an adventure? So this was a really great interactive chatbot that helped Hipmunk help serve me in a way that was really wonderful. Now, Booking.com, you probably don't want to use, obviously, because you're travel agents. But Booking.com has a great chatbot that really is more for customer service. So they can help you find a place to stay or with an existing booking. Again, they give you things that you might want to look at. I told them I wanted to go to Paris in November. How many nights did I want to stay in Paris? I said 4, and then you can't see it because it's below here. But they then delivered to me hotels in Paris for November for 4 days. And it was really exceptional customer service. And so this is the kind of thing that you can use your chatbot for to really serve your customers. Now, you may not be Coca-Cola, but and have the budget that they have, but this I thought was a really wonderful, inventive, creative way to use a chatbot. The sound on this is not great because I did a screencast of it, but just take a look and see how they use their chatbot. Okay, now you probably don't have that kind of budget, and if you do, that's great. You should definitely go for it. But if nothing else, that should be great inspiration for you for what you could do with a chatbot combined with Facebook advertising so that you can figure out how to use this to your best advantage. Whoops, sorry. So Facebook advertising and messenger chatbots can grow your business exponentially with automation, so there's less work and more clients for you. These are the 2 best tools that you have for your business. And again, don't throw your email marketing out, don't throw out any of your other digital things, but look at these 2 tools as the best way to do it. So now we're going to open things up for questions. Kirsten, do you have any questions in the Kirsten, are you there? Hello.
Yes. Okay. So that was fantastic. Thank you so much, Mary.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think that was one of the most actionable webinars that we've had.
Thanks. And in a minute, I'm going to show you what you need to just take a screenshot of in order to get all these slides. So don't go away, whatever you do.
Okay, so Brett is asking, what about Facebook declining viewership, especially with the younger audience?
You know what? Facebook is not really declining. I know they've gotten a lot of bad press this year. They've had a rough year. Kind of feel a little sorry for Mark Zuckerberg over there. But Facebook is still the granddaddy. They're still the best. Plus, they own Instagram. And for travel, Instagram could not be any better. So when you're advertising on Facebook, you're actually advertising on Instagram also, as long as you choose that. You have to make sure that you do choose that. But yeah, Facebook is not declining, so don't let that worry you.
Yeah, I don't know that I would say I feel sorry for Mark. Zuckerberg.
Well, that's true.
I think he's a pretty lucky guy. But I think as well, as you said, Instagram, and that's huge with the younger audience. Yeah. So, I mean, if Facebook isn't working for you, then move over there. But I think with all of these tips, I'm sure you're not probably doing everything that Mary has suggested yet in this webinar. So try them and just give it a go. So Ian is asking, are there any GDPR related implications for loading emails into Facebook?
No, there are not. So you're good to go on that. And I think as long as you have all those disclaimers on your website, you're good to go. You're fine. Okay,
Latifa is first saying great webinar. She wanted to know if the Facebook growth comment tool meant that people commented Fleet Week and if they were automatically subscribed.
They comment Fleet Week, they get the Facebook Messenger immediately, which they get to open. Then they have to interact with you once. So that's why you want to ask a question to get them to answer like a yes or no or whatever you're asking. And then at that point, you can subscribe them to the bot. You always have to say, and you may have seen this in any chatbots that you belong to, you always have to say, if you ever want to unsubscribe, all you have to do is say stop, and it automatically stops the chatbot. So they do have the option to opt out, but they have to interact with you at least once before you can subscribe them to your bot.
Great.
I know.
Great cat there.
Yeah, my cat just watching. He has to be in the middle of everything.
So we have another question as well. First of all, saying thank you, Mary. That was very helpful. But their question is, can you recommend a strategy for a beginner with not much advertising budget?
The good news, if you're dealing with local audiences, because that's what your business is, you don't have to be advertising to the world. You can actually get great traction on Facebook ads for as little as $5 or $10 a day. But you have to learn what it is, like I said, what your objective is. If you're just building engagement first, or you're building up your Facebook followers, or building your email list, then you're going to want to do video, and you're going to want to do great content. And maybe you're going to want to present a great lead magnet, like here's the 10 tips for the best packing that you can do for a trip. So the kinds of things that people who are traveling want to know. So you want to give them great content that is absolutely applicable to what it is that they might be buying from you.
Okay, great. So it looks like, oh, hang on, maybe we do have another question. So another question related to the Facebook growth comment tool. So once they are subscribed to the bot, do you capture their email to use on your regular email list?
No, you have to actually at some point ask them for their email. All you have is their name and the fact that they've subscribed. So at some point, once you're talking to them, then maybe you want to do that lead magnet that here's the 10 tips for the best packing job you've ever done. If you'd like me to send it to you, put your email address in here and we'll email it out to you. So that's the way that you capture their email lists or their email names to add to your list at that point. And you want to kind of be doing both. So you're using your email list, your Facebook and your Instagram and your chatbots to nurture these people all the way down the line into your funnel.
Okay, fantastic. It looks like we don't have any more questions at the moment. Just lots of comments saying thank you and that you're awesome. So that's nice.
Oh, well, thank you. And if you do have any questions after this, you can contact me at mary@bemoresocial.com and make sure that it's spelled BEE, moresocial.com. And also, you can visit my website, which is bemoresocial.com. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how a chatbot actually works, and you're going to get all these slides. So here is, let me get this out of the way. Here is the messenger code for tonight. So what I want you to do is open your phones and open Facebook Messenger. When you've opened it, down at the bottom, you're going to click on the little people icon on the lower left. And then you're going to click Scan Code, and you're going to take a picture of this code. And you will instantly get sent all of this information right to your Facebook Messenger. So I'm going to leave this up here for a second. And if anybody's having any trouble making that happen, just ask another question and we'll see what we can do to help you. I have just fallen in love with all these chatbots. I'm doing it for all of my clients. I'm doing it for my own business. And it's really applicable for every imaginable kind of business. I mean, if you're a restaurant, for instance, and you've got that get message on your Facebook, you can deliver your menus to your customers, tell them where you are, send directions, all of those wonderful things. So are we getting any questions about having problems with this scan?
I don't think so. I did it. It worked for me. So I've got the slides. Fantastic. That was very cool. So
good.
We do have one more question, actually. Sure. Asking if can you send a message to your Facebook page members or followers to subscribe via Messenger?
Well, what you do is you use that Messenger comment code. So if you remember back at that ad that I did it as a post first for Sale Baltimore, where I talked about the fact that Fleet Week was coming, and if you wanted to get all the updated day-to-day information sent right to your phone, all you had to do was comment Fleet Week, and in the comments below, and they would get the chatbot, and that's all they had to do. Now you can just do that as an organic post. You don't have to do an ad, but obviously the ad is what got me the most engagement. But it was a combination of both organic and paid. So yeah, you would use that Messenger comment code.
Okay, fantastic. It looks like we don't have any more questions. So thank you everyone for joining us today. And please do sign up for our next events, of course. And obviously a huge thank you to Mary for presenting today.
Thank you. This has been wonderful. And again, if you have any questions, it's mary@bemoresocial.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer.
Fantastic. Lots of thank yous in the chat coming up now. Oh,
great.
Okay,
and
fantastic.
Hello to everybody across the world. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks, Mary. Bye.
Bye.